G'day everybody. Today we've got another used review. This is of the Drill Doctor 360X. This is quite an old product. I've had this for a number of years now. Gosh, this would be probably near 10 years old now, I reckon. Be getting close to it. Oh man, yeah, it'd be 10 years old. It'd be about at the absolute latest. I would have bought it in 2012, so it's nearly 10 years old. I use this thing fairly regularly to sharpen drill bits. I found it quite good. I do a lot of drilling, and I lamented the amount of times I'd wear a drill bit out, and a friend of mine said you should just sharpen your drill bits. So I got this. This is kind of the entry level model. You can get better ones than this. The 360X, it's not, if you were doing it as much as I use it, you'd probably get a higher spec model, but it's been fine for my purposes, and I've used it extensively. It has a grinding stone inside it. If you take your adapter out, the grinding stone is in there, and I'm still on my original grinding stone. I haven't worn it out yet, so although it'd be getting close, I expect. So how have I found it? It's fine. It's very easy to use. You don't get some of the adjustment and options with some of the higher end models. Now that may be good or bad for you. Depends on what you want to do. I found it good. It's great on the larger drill bits. This will go out to quite a reasonable size, although I have got some drill bits that don't fit in here. And that, it depends on the size of your drill bit as to which model you may get. You might want to factor that in. Have a look at the drill bits that you'll be looking to sharpen, and see if this will do the job for you. If it doesn't, obviously this isn't the one for you. On large drill bits, it's fairly easy. As I said, you get more adjustment with some of the other ones. This is just going to do it, one size fits all basically. But it will it has always brought my drill bits back to a quite a satisfactory cut. And I've brought large drill bits that I've snapped. I've actually brought them back to a usable, although much shorter drill bit. But I've been able to put an edge back on them sufficient to keep drilling on drill bits I've taken the end off, or maybe 3/4 of an inch off the end of it, and I've been able to bring them back using the Drill Doctor, grinding most of it, getting it pretty close on the bench grinder, and then finishing it off with the Drill Doctor, and I found that quite fine. So in terms of large drill bits, no problem. I think it's very good. My problem with the Drill Doctor, the thing I don't like, is that I often find you'll often snap small drill bits, small drill bits. So you may have no requirement for sharpening small drill bits, but often I'll find I can take the edge off a small drill bit if I'm using it for pilot holes, and this is not good for small drill bits. It's very, very hard to mount it and get it sharpened. So smaller drill bits, not so good on. And you're talking small, you're talking in your really, really, really little drill bits. Obviously, your really super fine 1.5 mils and stuff, you're not going to even put in there. They're just too small. But when you get down in sizing, I do find it a little frustrating that you can't bring them back on some smaller sizes that I think you should be able to do. So what am I talking about there? Let me show you. So that's a 4 mil drill bit. That's going to be tricky to do, in my opinion. And sure, maybe I'm using it wrong or something, but I just find it starts to get tough when you get down to there. 5 mil is not too bad. 4.5, yeah, you can probably do that. But after that, you're probably not going to do it. And 4, 3.5s, and 3. I would have a requirement to sharpen them. Once you get down to the 2s, you'll probably snap them before you need to sharpen them. But it would be good to be able to do it with a little bit more precision. I have been able to do it, but it's really hard. More often than not, I fail, and I just end up buying a new drill bit. So that's a limitation. I would factor that in, because if you were doing really fine work, and you said most of my work is 3, 3.5, 4. Maybe you're just better off buying new drill bits. But anything above that, up until the maximum size of what the adapter will hold, then I found it very, very good. So, but again, a bit of a lack of adjustment. This is the entry model, but its longevity and what it's been able to do in terms of sharpening drill bits for me has been quite fine. Would I buy it again? Yes, I would. Would I buy a higher spec model? Possibly. The catalyst for me buying a higher spec one is I'd have to speak to one of the guys that, one of the reps for it and say, do I get any better, any more consistent results on doing, say, a 4mm, 3.5, 4.5, 3mm drill bit? If the answer was yes, then that would probably be enough to get me to buy the high spec model. I know they do, the stone will last a little longer in the high spec. The adjustment I'm not going to use. I'm quite happy with how the standard jig works and the angle that it provides me. I'm quite happy with that. I don't really need any additional adjustment, so I wouldn't upgrade for that. It's really only if it gave me an ability to sharpen bigger drill bits and smaller drill bits, then yes, I would go for one of the higher specs. If it didn't, if the biggest size and the smaller size that this thing is going to handle is the same as you move up, this is where I'd stay. It's all the drill bit sharpener that I need. It's a valued part of my workshop. I use it quite frequently because I do a lot of drilling, as I said, and I probably wouldn't be without one now. Drill bits are expensive, particularly larger size drill bits, and it's really helpful to be able to bring them back. The cost that you pay to buy one, to be able to bring those bigger drill bits back consistently, to me is money well spent. If you were really not drilling an awful lot, just to have it sitting on your shelf looking good, I probably wouldn't do that. But if you were having a requirement to sharpen drill bits, we're throwing a lot away, I've found that it can bring it back very, very well to a near OEM kind of cut. So I'm content enough to recommend it. So that's a pretty much permanent fixture of my workbench. So if you're looking for a drill bit sharpener, that's not a bad one. There's lots of copies now of the Drill Doctor, lots of different options that you can find. They pretty much all work on the same system, and you can find it from a whole bunch of manufacturers. Would I buy one of those? Yeah, if it's reasonably reputable, I'd buy one. You'd probably want to, if it was a cheap no-name one you're buying for, half the price on eBay or something, you'd probably want to have a look at, you'd probably want a recommendation from somebody, because you can get it wrong. Like if things are off a little bit in their tolerances, you could end up just ruining all your drill bits. So I would check that out. But as for the Drill Doctor, I'm happy to recommend it. A reasonable brand name there. And there's some other retailers in Australia that are brand retailers that make a similar system to this, and they're probably good options as well. So for what it's worth, drill bit sharpening gets the thumbs up from me, and I'm quite happy with it. I hope this was useful for you. Thanks for watching.